Hey RIHOP community, Kim Hager here, Director of RIHOP with Adrian Craig, Associate Director, and we want to take these times once a month to share testimonies of what God is doing in our prayer room in our city. And so we're here today with one of our friends, and we're just going to share a bit about what God's been speaking and doing.
Yeah, this is Carter Mackey, and yes. Carter has been, you've been a part of our community now for 3 months?
Maybe a little longer.
Okay.
4 or 5 months,
yeah. But I actually remember when Carter first came, because the things that happened and took place even in your first couple of visits, I know were really unique. And so, what would you say has impacted you about, or how has the prayer room impacted you since you've become a part of our community and just started coming around? What's the Lord been doing in your life?
Wow. Okay, so I'm curious about what that was that happened that day, because I'm not sure I remember.
I just remember you sending us like 3 emails about having an encounter with Jesus.
Yeah, that was actually though after about a month or so.
Okay.
A month or so after I started coming. But I've been in the Richmond community for about 20 years. I've known of RIHOP. I haven't, quite frankly, I wasn't real compelled to come by until the Holy Spirit started speaking to me about what was going on, and I felt I do have a friend that was coming, and he had said something to me about it, and then one morning the Holy Spirit said, "Yeah, today's the day," and I came by, and I think the most succinct way I could say this is like, as many churches, as many God experiences I've had, I've never walked into a space and felt the atmosphere of the Lord in a more profound way. And so I didn't know why I was there. I don't sing like you guys sing. I don't pray like you guys pray. But I just felt the presence of God, and it just kept me coming back. So I started coming at lunch, and I quickly started, because I'm a business guy, and I have a company, and normally I'm meeting with people for lunch, or having business meetings, and I started to radically change that.
Yeah, different kind of meeting.
Yes.
Now.
And I started kind of making the rhythm of my workday kind of, it was like circumnavigating this worship, because I was starting to experience change in my bit. So, the Holy Spirit early said to me, because I like getting things done. I like, having a schedule, and the Holy Spirit real quickly said, I want you to put down your way of doing business and pick up my way of doing business. And so I did. I started changing that rhythm and making worship and prayer like the central kind of thing, and that's when things just started changing all around me. And a month later is when I had that one experience. But
I remember. So you've been a believer for how long? You've been in church?
I've been churched since I was young. I grew up in the church. I went to a Christian school. I grew up in Norfolk. I've been here in Richmond for 20 years. But I haven't experienced God in this way. I mean, we all have our stories. We're all broken in certain ways. I was a believer in Jesus, but I didn't follow Jesus. So that's changed radically for me over the last decade.
When you said even just your ability to hear the voice of God changed significantly.
Oh yeah, I told you that.
Uh-huh.
Man, you're listening. I don't remember saying. Yeah. So just how real God is and how He speaks. I've been in a variety of different churches, and that's what I do love about the RIHOP experience. Is there's people from different perspectives on Jesus, but profoundly, how He's begun speaking through people, through vision, through I kind of, being more of a scientist, I'm like, okay, what's changed the most? What changed when all this started happening? There were a lot of things, but coming into the prayer room was when things started happening for me in a different way.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah, so I just want to end with this idea of a rhythm of life. You mentioned that. And we often talk about that in our community, where we're saying we're ordering our rhythm of life around hosting God's presence. And that's not just for the full-time singer or musician that's here at RIHOP, but even for the business guy who's radically shifted his life and even the way you look at business to order it around seeking God's presence first, which is an awesome testimony, Carter. And you are a gift to the community as well. Your addition of prayer and worship and ministry to the family is an addition as well. So, hey, we want to invite you to come check us out at noon prayer someday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. RIHOP is open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and we're also believing for live, enjoyable, presence-centered worship to happen for 60 hours a week in this place, and we want you to partner with us.
Yes.
We want you to partner with us financially and by coming and participating. Help us expand our worship here so that there's more testimonies like Carter's. God bless.